Let's talk
get
about
warm up.
Let's
Up
talk
for that
about
event in
Spain
Finland next week.
because we gotta have a laugh at Mad Lions Koi because now fans are mad. It's another year, Thorin. The script is the same. Fans are mad that Mad Lions is at Worlds, and they're disappointing you yet again. Yet they've managed to do it with an entirely new coaching staff, 4 different players, only El Yoya. But I will tell you guys, you should not be mad at Mad Lions. As usual, we should be mad at Adam. That's who we should be mad at in this situation. People are like, it's just a garbage LEC format. The format is fine. It's not ideal. Like, I don't like summer playoffs into the season playoffs. There are things that are wrong with it. But objectively, if in winter, Adam hadn't been a piece of shit and gotten himself benched and therefore given Mad Lions a ticket to the finals, which they almost certainly don't win if Adam is actually there because Mad Lions almost lost to a sub, we don't end up with Mad Lions at Worlds. Okay? True. We don't end up with that situation. So personally, I don't blame the format. I don't blame G2 for losing 1 best of 5. I just blame Adam.
That's a good take. Also, he has just lost his job potentially. That's what the rumor is. So let's see. Does he even play in LEC? Who knows at this point? Because spoiler, I'll guarantee behind the scenes, everyone's heard those stories, mate. Everyone's heard those fucking stories. You got publicly benched. Like, I don't know. Let's see. You might be back in the LFL where you belong, where you can just dominate in the LFL. No, I agree. Because the problem is, Mad Lions, you always, here's the difference. I still don't think it's the idea of like, it's fine to be shit or whatever. But I'll tell you what, they are like 4 rookies. I mean, people who haven't even experienced LEC level before, now they're at Worlds. Like, bro, what do you think they're going to do? Now, look, I will say, you don't expect them to lose to Gigabyte Marines. Like, let's just put that out. But I'll tell you what, Gigabyte Marines is just a sleeper, mate. I've underestimated them a lot. I'll tell you what, 100 Thieves found that out the hard way. A lot of people find out the hard way. You know what, Monty? A lot of people find out the hard way. You don't want to send 17 and 18-year-old inexperienced men to Vietnam to fight a war. Might not work. I don't want to feel like a hippie or something, Monty. You know, I'm more in the Richard Nixon camp personally, but you know,
it turns out historically, when you send Westerners to fight the Vietnamese actually win. They win that one, guys.
Yeah, they have booby traps, mate. They have tunnels that go underground. You never expect them. That's the problem. They're fighting in the jungles, guerrilla tactics. Exactly. Bro, the fucking CEO guy's running marathons for fun and then just like dead in bed, like, I can't move, please.
That guy's really fun. I had drinks with that guy last year when he was in Korea. He's a great time.
He seems sick. Unfortunately, he's actually, I think I know more about him than any of the players except Levi at this point in time, but fair play. Easy little guy seemed all right. I think he's beaten, mate.
Look, Kiaya, I think, has been good. Like, this series that Mad Lions played was, let's just get that out of the way, extremely embarrassing. Extremely embarrassing. I've enjoyed watching Mirwin this year, but watching Mirwin on meta picks has been a struggle. Teams just permaban Nidalee against them because El Yoya plays Nidalee and Mirwin plays Nidalee, so why not just get rid of it? A lot of the flexes that they were using are just no longer in the champion pool anymore. So like the Zeri flex tricks that they were using in order to beat G2, Zeri's not really part of this world championship. Maybe the Ezreal flexes, you know, we've seen a lot of Ezreal bans against Mad Lions as well. So that has kind of fallen out of favor. They don't seem comfortable. Like, well, they're first off, they're just bad at playing Yone. Like, let me get this out there. Frisky is a bad Yone player. And they don't appear to play Aurora, so that's not going great. Mirwin's Rumble was tragic in this series. This is an extremely terrible performance from Mad Lions. And honestly, by the last game of this series, it looked like they had just given up and were trying to go home because they barely played the final game of this series.
That's the most whack part, because even though we'll address a little bit about it. Now, people are claiming that when El Yoya went on Ibai's stream and gave his sort of like opinions and stuff, and obviously people know, especially in his own language, he's spicy as fuck, right? People are saying it's a mistranslation, but all I'll say is this, like, where's the real translation? And can I have it? Can I see it? Like, but funny, I'll just say this. I was saying this to Monty before. You cunts come into, there we go, I've done it already, demonetized video. Right, mark it down, Andrew. It was like an hour and 12 minutes or something, mate, right? You fucking arseholes. So that doesn't suddenly have the hit anymore that it should, does it? You arseholes are the same people who, when Wooloo in my domain just literally posts completely false information that isn't happening, or information from one source, badly sourced, even brags in Twitlongers that he's like sometimes putting in rumors that aren't sourced just to make you not believe he's true, and mental shit like that. Watch my video about it on my YouTube channel. You're all fine because you go, hey, at least some of it's true though. Why are you hating, bro? Why are you hating? Like, it's entertaining though, isn't it? It's TMZ, it's entertaining. Well, then you know what? This is entertaining, because I'll tell you what, one thing you can't say about this interview, if it's mistranslated, certainly wasn't fucking boring, was it? It was entertaining as fuck. For a start off, it had an angle that depressed the fuck out of me, Monty. I actually, low-key, I'll even tell you right now, before the GAM game, I actually sent El Yoya a DM, never spoken to him in my life. I sent him a DM where I just told him, like, you are one of the best Western players that we produced. Like, why can't someone like you fuck up the other players? Like, just ignore the haters, like, just focus on your game, basically. Now, here's what's sad. When I think about what he's done publicly to teammates, how he's commented on things, and if any of this is true in this interview, the fucking ego of this guy, it's too far the other way, mate, because he's doing Idra level shit. And you know what, Monty? Firstly, because he was a dickhead to me as a person. I'm not one of the people who fondly remembers Idra, mate, because he had barely any results, and he used to be the worst example of delusion I have ever seen in professional esports. He would say for real that when you beat him with a low-skilled strategy, you played wrong, even though you beat him, and that what he did was fundamentally right, even though it fundamentally lost the game. That is literally, you are mental, because you're being an elitist when you aren't even elite, bro. So I can't believe the way he is framing things, because if you don't know, the translation I saw was implying that cos Mad Lions played a bunch of scrims. He's using Scrimbox. He's a Scrimbox millionaire. There you go. Make the meme. Scrimbox millionaire. And in scrims, he was having good scrims. He even had the audacity to suggest that he was playing, like, I can't remember who they said. I think it was like BLG or something. And he was saying that, like, when they didn't get smashed, they would just throw the game themselves. Right. But G2 beating Weibo in Worlds isn't impressive. So let's just check that out a second. We didn't beat BLG by our own inference, but we threw the game. They're not as better than us and overcame us because we're not as good. But us almost beating them in scrim, which we didn't win, is better than G2 checks notes at Worlds. I think I know the Mad Lions problem, mate. I think I've just cracked it right there. You know, the Worlds ones are the ones that count, mate. Send El Yoya the almost won scrims world championship of scrim fucking technology, you fucking idiot. But winning real games is what matters. Winning real games. You know the whole thing? Yeah, but Weibo is one of the worst Asian teams. And what do you think you are of the European teams, my dude? One of the worst? The worst? Bro, I think Fnatic's having a dog shit tournament. They look like fucking... They look world-class compared to you. They're in games against E+. You're getting your shit pushed in by GAM. Bro, they're called GAM. You know GAM sucks. Because that hasn't become cool yet. That name would be like unique, and it just sounds whack still, because there's fucking upset merchants. You know, that's fundamentally good team.
I'm just sad they don't lean into the 1920s slang where nobody can say nice gams or anything like that, right? Like they should just be leaning into that hard as part of their brand identity. I mean, I don't even know what it stands for at this point in time. Has it just become TSM? I mean, it used to stand for Gigabyte Adonis Marines, but
ooh, Adonis, that's fire. Okay, I like that.
But I don't think they're sponsored by Gigabyte anymore. So.
Oh, that's the problem, right? But
They're
I
just
also do
now.
despise that. I hate that in esports, Monty, where it's like we're Team Solo Mid, aka TSM, aka we're not Team Solo Mid anymore. We're just TSM. Shut up.
They just disassociate. It's the worst thing about post-modernity.
What do you mean? We're Team WE, not World. Yeah, that's worse. That means nothing. That means nothing, you idiot.
By the way, they could have just called themselves Adonis Marines, but whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, straight fire. That's straight fire.
The best looking military force.
Then their CEO guy could just do all fucking speedo poses, couldn't he? Like he could be the Adonis in this analogy. There you go. Looks like he's in shape.
Yeah. So Mad Lions come into this first game. They actually play a really clean first game against GAM. You think, oh, okay, well, maybe we're going to get something going here. Maybe we're going to, actually show up and have a clean series, get out, not be one of the first teams eliminated. I mean, GAM has people's numbers. They took out Team Liquid last year. They already took out 100 Thieves in this tournament. You can't disrespect them, even though some of their players are, to put it mildly, questionable. All right, so we flash forward to game 2. GAM then drafts a 100% ultra wombo combo composition that is entirely based off of ultimate cooldowns. Mad Lions, they're picking more of a, pick comp. They take Supa on the Xayah so that he can dodge some of these ultimates coming in. Now, does Mad Lions play around ult cooldown timers? No, of course they don't. Do they walk into choke points in the jungle where there's an MF waiting to just ult them? Of course they do. Do they giga feed Levi in this game so he becomes like this god tier 2-item power spike Wukong? I mean, he has Sundered Sky at like 10 minutes into this game, and he's just running riot all over Mad Lions. And then on top of that, the individual play is just terrible. Mirwin's Rumble play is awful. He's missing all of his ults. He's not putting them in the proper choke points. He is misusing his heat. So he's literally...
Think about some of those characters, Monty. You're playing against an MF. Your Rumble could just shit on them, but you can't land the ult. Come on, bro. He
literally is walking into some objective team fights overheated where he can't ult at the start of the fight.
Love it.
I mean, it is bad. And then
that's
when
with the Team Liquid fucking Impact Nard barter usage, which is like, right, I can't go Mega now. Fight. Like, nah, man, get me out. Get me the fuck out.
He's like, Mirwin's like walking in from a lane into the river overheated. Like, it is wild. And then on top of that, when you do have ults, who are we playing? Who are we putting these ults into? It's Elio. It's a literal support player that you are just dumping all of your ultimates into. Thorin's entering the darkness, apparently. There we go. They're dumping all of their ults straight into a rel. So we're using Vial, we're using Ariel, we're using Rakan ult onto a rel who lives, who then counter engages, and then you're caught in the fucking Kennen Wukong Rel Yone Wombo combo. It is crazy to watch the way this team was playing this game. And you should know, like, GAM literally drafted the most basic kind of pro comp that any halfway decent pro team should be able to track ult timers and find timing windows. And we obviously shouldn't be using all of our pick ultimates in order to try and kill a rel that we can't actually kill. It was bad. It's terrible.
We're finished with the shit teams yet? Are we still going? Are we going to the other European teams?
No, I want to go to the last game.
Some good teams.
I want to go to the last game of the series because it's even worse where like Frescawi is just TPing in after Supa has died to then die again on Yone. So we get the TPs that are terrible in this game. It is, Alvaro is making misplays. So they just do the lane swap improperly where Nautilus is like trying to hook under turret, but the problem is that the reason why you guys, when we see the lane swap and we see the support between the tier 1 and tier 2 towers, that's because they need the top laner to TP in first, and then you walk up, because if you walk up first and you use your Nautilus hook to get under that turret, they just kill you while the TP is channeling, which is exactly what happens, and then they kill Mirwin too. And it's like, how have we not learned how to do any of these things? How are we so bad at using TP? You know what I mean? Like, I just do not understand how they arrived at this place after practicing for Worlds. It was pretty appalling, but a deserved finish for Mad Lions based on their performance. Like, they did not show up in the last 2 games of this series. And this is a team that probably never should have been at Worlds. LEC, I think most people would say as a whole was pretty disappointing. There are a lot of good players in LEC. They're just not on the same teams. I think we all would have probably rather seen Carmine Corp here after the finish that they had in summer. But this is what you get. It's what you get because of Adam. It's all because of Adam. It's all because of Adam.
Yes. See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.